We're good.
So, last time on Zion Crossing, we have learned that we have a time limit before we lose Gabe. We have a time limit before Dakota loses Joey. Spence is cool.
Oh, ghosty ghost, you're dead.
It's just what I do.
And yeah, and it's looking like Gabe's not going to be able to do a whole lot besides, fight for his life in the near future. And presumably also to try and maybe prevent Dakota's father from being killed. That seems like a thing. So yeah, we should probably pick up with the snarling werewolves, but I'm also okay with any other scenes you would like to interject beforehand.
Let's do the snarling werewolves. It seems like the most obvious choice.
We could do our last highlights.
Oh,
of the
final
campaign.
highlight. Thank you,
I don't know if I spent my string on Gabe last session. Did I actually spend that string, Gabe?
You started to, but you didn't need to.
Oh, okay.
You didn't need to burn it. You threatened to burn it.
I'll so burn this string.
So I have one string on Gabe.
I have one on Gabe as well. You choose, Gabe.
Why don't you pick it, Rich? One last time.
Hot.
I will charm the werewolf.
You're right. I guess I should think situational, volatile.
Oh, okay. I was just messing with it.
No, you're right. You're right. I was just thinking.
I was gonna highlight volatile anyways because I'm kind.
That'd be mean. I mean, what's he gonna do? Not get XP? Oh.
Last session.
Oh, who's got the most on me?
I don't have any.
I have 2.
Nice.
So Dakota, you are going to be also volatile. Let's go out with a bang.
Okay. Spence, who has? I have 0 on Spence.
I have 1 on Spence. Dark.
Oh my.
Nice.
We need guidance.
Okay.
Rhymes with bark.
But I already have dark. Can I double highlight something?
No.
Oh.
You can double highlight it, but singleton rule's still in effect. So.
Shit. Hate that rule.
Yes, you do.
Heaps is for chumps. That's what that rule's all about. Anyway.
Stop gaming the system, Adam. That's why you hate it.
Okay. Adam, let's highlight hot.
I'm going to fuck everything that moves.
This is your last chance, buddy. Make it good. I'd say the same thing, but my choices are somewhat limited at the moment.
Well, such is life.
Yeah.
Sadly. Or unlife as it is for Spencer.
It was heavenly. Sorry.
This is kind of a random aside. Okay, but when I read Gabe's letter to Ophelia, it gave me this awesome mental image of like if we could get Matt for like even just an hour and sort of that dealing with Ophelia scene and Gabe being gone and just being the angel. And he can find her no problem now because he has heavenly goddamn powers. And just like showing up and being the angel, and then like and then what after whatever happens with Dakota, and then like Spencer being all to help balance the karma, and anyways, how that could be awesome sauce. Maybe someday.
They brought back Farscape. Just saying.
Arnold was teasing and said we should have a special for charity.
I'm with that.
I don't think Peacekeeper Wars counts.
Dude, you didn't like Peacekeeper Wars?
I like it, but it's not bringing it back. It's just a giant apology for the huge screw up of canceling it in the first place. But okay, so it was good. All right, I could put it to bed a lot better after Peacekeeper Wars.
And you should give me double points for not using the obvious Firefly reference.
That's true. I'm glad that show's not coming back. I really feel it was like the Nirvana of sci-fi.
You're lucky that we're on air. That's all I'm going to say.
It's true. It's true.
Why do people have such strong emotions about this show?
I'm just saying it was the Nirvana of sci-fi, in that I think if it got more time, it might have, more flaws might have become evident. Like Dollhouse got a second season. That wasn't good.
So I draw my sword and I march toward this werewolf.
That's a good point.
Right. Sorry.
We have 3 hours.
I'm sorry. Oh my goodness.
You're
Actually, you know what? This is the last session. I feel that all three of you, and Adam, so you can wreck on this. All three of you should get to highlight the stat you want to. I'm
highlighting dark.
I'm giving away my stat highlighting privileges because this is the last session, and that seems like the thing to do.
I'd just like to say I did like Firefly. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I liked the characters. I just thought that the Western stuff was a little much. It was a little too on the nose. Hate the theme song. Okay, let's move on.
I think Hot and Volatile are fine. I mean,
Considering how Gabe is feeling.
You want hot? You don't want to be judgmental or something?
Well,
where are your powers?
I have a really twisted plan that I'm curious if I'm going to be able to. See, unfortunately, the moment we cut off the last game, I started planning. I couldn't turn it off. It was bad.
Well, if you share with us your potential plan, we can work to help make it happen.
Okay.
As long as it fits, as long as it makes sense. It
Okay.
usually works better if other people know what you're driving towards.
Okay. Well, why don't we? The scene that I want to have. I have 2 things I need to do before I go. I've just got 2 things. One is we got to save Joey. The other one is I've got to save Sophie. Those are my 2 priorities. Because you dropped that nuclear bomb on me last game, and now I've got to do something about it.
I've been hinting at it.
I know, but you sort of there's like it's sort of like when you see someone who's starting to slip into like substance abuse. It's like, well, they just drink a little too much. And then you see a vision of them on the side of the road. It's like, okay, I get it now. I've got to do something. And I've got 40 hours. Because when I go the other way, I'm assuming that my solution will be different once I have no humanity left.
It's like watch her until she crosses the line and then kill her at the end.
Yeah, solves the problem.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Gideon is rather surprised to see you. Surprised enough that he drops his guard and one of the smaller wolves lunges forward and almost catches him on the hamstring, but he is pretty agile. He's been fighting in these werewolf wars for the past few months. He's used to being on high alert, and he manages to get out of the way just in time and rakes his claws across the face, and the werewolf dances back, and they're still kind of circling, and it looks very much like kind of almost your standard wolf pack formation, where they're going to follow you and nip at you and wear you down, because that's what wolves do best.
You might want to be a little more careful.
He's in half werewolf form, so he's not much with the talkie-talkie. Uh,
Oh. I
so he just makes growly grunt noise.
Yeah.
That's what you're
So I had my sword out because I said, I guess this will do too. I pull my sword out, I look in front, I look at the biggest, nastiest MF, I light the son of a bitch on fire, and I go after it.
Seems like a thing. That sounds like a roll.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right.
Can I mentally give helping? Oh wait, the wrong game. Damn it.
Oh. Jesus Christ, how big would it be if he had the free time and like Ophelia came back to the last session and just made everything better with her mojo?
That would be pretty awesome,
Oh my god.
I have to say. All right. Okay, that's a 9.
Cool beans, yeah, so you the nature of this very large wolf is not inherently evil. He's not demonic, so you don't get this smitey smite.
Then it's an 8.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, because he's not inherently a bad creature. He's for this particularly large guy, I'm working off of the idea of he's actually he actually has like Asperger's, but he's much physically stronger, and that translates in wolf form as this sort of hugely oversized dire wolf, and so he doesn't have the capacity for evil. He's just following the directions of his loved ones. So he's not smite worthy. The other ones, debatable. They're not as good people.
So I would sense that, I would assume, at this point.
Yes, you can definitely sense that. Hi. You can.
What's up, playa?
Hey guys.
This is our last session.
I heard.
Yeah.
How sad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mechanics.
Matt, have you met Adam? Or I'm
We
bad at
played in a game together. And
That's why I
second
asked. I knew.
introduction.
If I didn't ask, then I had. Okay. There you go.
Am I interrupting it or anything?
No,
I'm just getting
really
into trouble.
cool for you to be here.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
So yes, you sense that. You can sense that there is clear malevolence, and I mean he will still mess you up. He's just not inherently evil.
So instead of, okay, but that will affect how I approach him, because I'm not going to try to run him through with a sword if he's not actually bad, because that wouldn't be nice.
Right.
So in a rather surprisingly characteristic approach, I stalk toward this thing, and it takes a swing at me. I just grab its arm and just shove it backward, kind of looking at the other wolves with this like, who's next?
Nice. Okay. There's 5 of them in total, including the very large one. And I'm sorry, I'm making little hit point counters for, which is not something I've had to do in a long time. Okay. And mechanically, he takes 1 harm, and then, oh god, it's been that long since we've fought things and not been overwhelmingly successful.
It's okay, I got it right here.
Thank you.
I will let him have a string on me.
Whew, okay. Alright, cool. So he takes 1 harm, but he gets a string on you because he can sense your reticence to kill, which is potentially very dangerous in battle. Oh.
BBs. All right. So as he does, so it's going to kind of. Can I get a sense for what is causing this fight? Where are they fighting?
That sounds like a from the surface. No, there's no like.
No, I mean like.
There aren't any like war banners, but if you want to use your mystical mojo, that's a roll.
Okay. So when it comes to this, I would think that there's no real role there's no powers for these things, so I would think if I'm acting in my angelic nature, it'd be forgiveness, and if I'm acting opposed to that, it would be trespass.
Sounds
Want to do it that way?
Yeah.
I like that because I have more of a role for that. That's good. Bless you. Okay.
Did you add the 2 dice?
Oh, I cleared it. Interesting. Boom. Okay, that's 11.
All right. What do you want to know? Just the cause for the specific conflict or the history of the war, because you rolled really well. So.
I want to know who the leaders are, what's the cause, and how do I stop it, or just how do I stop it?
All right. The leader for this specific pack is not present. He's the only one absent, in fact. The other, his next in command, so to speak, is there. Oh God, names. Go to American Name Generator, yay!
Eric.
Well, thank you. Fine. Dakota's Wolfpack has much more wolfy sounding names.
Yeah. White.
Draven. Falcon.
I'm a fan of Schultz.
I'm pretty happy with the names I came up with.
I like them. They're awesome. So I was saying them all like, grrr.
Yes, so Eric is there. He's wounded but hiding it well. And they are circling Gideon because one of them was a mole. Marcus was a mole in Dakota's pack. Gideon came and spilled all the beans about Dakota because he had to in order to get help. Marcus reported back to their leader, and so now they are. Gideon has basically said, they've said, take me to Dakota, and Gideons are like, you have to kill me first, and they're like, okay, your typical situation. They don't want him dead. They want to just incapacitate him and, hopefully torture him or lure Dakota out or et cetera, et cetera. Having him dead would not be useful to them.
Okay.
They don't really care if you die.
It's fine. So I'll look at Mr. Eric. You will stop now, or I will call down a choir of angels that will butcher all of you.
That's hot roll. You're just like rolling left and right.
Brown
Actually,
chicken?
That's a cold roll. You're shutting him down, not manipulating him. I lied.
Seven.
Squeeze.
And make some make, baby.
Take it.
I should really have my reference sheet out, and I don't.
Let me load it. Let me load it in Drive. Sorry.
I think I've rolled more in the last 43 minutes than I have in the last 6 games.
7 and 9, choose one. You each give a condition to one another. You each lose a string on one another.
Okay.
Cool. So, conditions. I'm gonna give Gabe exposed.
And I'm going to give Eric cowed.
Okay. Eric is going to change back to man form. He remains crouched on the ground. Without the fur covering it, you can see that he has a gash across his abdomen. It's sticky and matted, um, and he says, it takes him a minute. He spends more time as a wolf than is probably healthy, so it takes him a minute to find his speech. And when he does, his voice sounds like it's gone unused, but he wants to know what stake you have in this. Like who are you to interrupt this territory spat?
I am an angel, and Dakota is under my protection. Her pack is under my protection. This town is under my protection. Your petty squabbles do nothing but serve the enemy. You will stop, or you will die.
He looks annoyed. And normally he would have already lashed out by now, but he's appropriately afraid. And he says, but it's been long understood that as long as werewolves deal with werewolves, the angels and demons stay away. Even recently, Ariel, as recently as 5 years ago, because on the timeline of things, angels were on. As recently as 5 years ago, Ariel reassured us that werewolf business is werewolf business, and of course warned us that humans are his business. Dakota's not a human.
Be that as it may, you will leave her alone. I have no fight with you. I do not wish any harm upon any of you. All of you are treasures in the world. You provide wonder to it, and you do wonderful things. But you will not take her.
The more you talk, the more distressed the big wolf, who probably needs a name at this point, Dustin. The more you talk, the more distressed Dustin is looking. He's kind of shaking his wolf head, and he doesn't look happy with what you're saying. And he actually, no, he doesn't lash out, but you can tell he's getting very angry and very agitated, and none of the rest of the pack seem particularly inclined to hold him back.
What's he feeling right now? Just generally,
Distress.
This?
He is very worried about what you want with Dakota, because he obviously doesn't understand the scope of the situation, and he thinks that they're just trying to bring Dakota into the fold. He doesn't know what's going to happen to her.
Okay. Okay, so Eric, what's it going to be? We can fight as enemies, or we can walk away. You must let Dakota have her own choice. You will not take her.
While you've been talking, Gideon's been pretty focused on you and mostly the big guy. He doesn't have any feel for the big guy. He's only seen him on the battlefield. He's seen him, what he can do. And was there the day that Dustin basically single-handedly wiped out the third pack that had been involved in the dispute. He just took them all down. So he has a lot of fear for this fellow. And Marcus slips around, sort of behind. He's being sneaky, but not. He doesn't have any malicious intent, so it doesn't set off your alarm bells. And he all of a sudden lunges forward, and his teeth snap. But he wasn't trying to grab Gideon. He grabs the remains of Gideon's jacket and pulls it off of him and runs into the woods. And of course, Gideon's jacket had his wallet in it. And once he does that, Eric just kind of smiles and melts back into wolf form, and using communication that you can't perceive, all of the wolves melt back into the woods.
I turn and walk over to Gideon. They're going to go after her.
He's frozen in his fear. He's completely locked up.
Okay. I need to manipulate him. It's like, Gideon, you need to focus. We don't have time for this. Eight.
Sweet, sweet. You're gonna have to make a promise that Dakota's gonna be okay.
Gideon, as long as I exist, I will watch over Dakota as a guardian angel to his flock. She will be safe. You have my word on it.
His eyes slowly come back into focus, and he changes back to normal Gideon form. His clothes are still kind of present, but pretty badly shredded. There's still a lot of pain and tension in his face, and he can't bring himself to speak, but he nods. And he sort of jerks his head in a direction and starts walking that way.
So, okay. Where's he walking toward? The woods or the other way?
Well, you're kind of in the middle of the woods, so it looks
It's
like
all, it's all woods.
But he's heading towards his pack and his truck, because they are in the same place.
Okay. Oh, I call her. This is not a time for text messages.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience for it anyway.
What's up?
Where are you?
Where am I?
You are pretty much where we left off. We're walking back to his car, I'd imagine.
We're standing around your car,
Okay.
making annoying small talk. No offense, Bent.
I'm totally not offense by that.
Listen to me very carefully. You cannot go home.
What's wrong at home?
The werewolf pack is coming for you. You cannot go home.
What about Seth and Jakey? Are they okay?
Are they at home, Kelly? Can I
Yeah.
sense that?
They were just playing outside, so I imagine they stayed close to home.
Okay. You got to get them out of there right now.
Okay.
Go to Maya's house. Go to my house. Go anywhere. Do not stay near your house. They found you. They have your address, and they're gonna come for you.
Okay, thanks. Spence, we gotta go.
Well, let's move. Where are we going?
We're going to my house, get my brother's. I guess we'll go to Soph's. Unless you got some other place we can hide.
That's probably.
I do have a place we can hide, but I guess that depends on where you feel safest.
Okay.
Well, let's get the boys. We'll figure it out from there, but probably Soph's.
Sounds good.
Rich, are you gonna text me that? Because I don't know where you're going. Actually, I do know where you're going, but I don't know where you're going. Okay. All right. Kelly, what time is it? Still
it's maybe noon. You guys.
Oh, that's right. It's during the day.
Yeah.
So used to being at night, I forgot.
Yeah, it's middle of the day. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll call Sophie.
She picks up after a few rings, and she's laughing, and you can hear voices in the background.
Hey.
Hey.
So what's going on?
Just hanging out with some of the other people who are taking the SAT prep course. What's up?
Oh. Yeah, we got a thing. There's a couple of things, but it's probably better that we don't do that in front of your friends. So we'll go take care of this somewhere else. I really need to talk to you alone today. I don't have much time.
And you can hear a door closing, and she's moving away from the crowd of people, and the noise is shut off. She stepped inside the bathroom at the Starbucks or whatever. Gabe, what's wrong?
A lot. A lot. And probably not a good idea to discuss over the phone. The shorthand is that Dakota's opposing werewolf pack is after her. They're gonna go try to kill her. And there's a thing with me too, but we got to deal with one thing at a time. I just told Dakota she needs to stay away from her house because they're gonna come for her. She was thinking of swinging by your house, but if your parents are home, because I can tell you're not there right now. You're out at Starbucks. It might be better to go somewhere else. And I know I'm not making a whole lot of sense, and I'm sorry. I'm a little overwhelmed at the moment.
Dad's at work. Mom's home, but it wouldn't be too hard to convince her to go out.
Actually. Can you meet me at my house?
Yeah, sure, when?
As soon as you can.
Gabe's like 3 hours north of where she is, just so you know.
Gabe can teleport.
Sometimes.
Oh, I can teleport. It's just a question of where do I get where I want to be. Haven't been fused into solid rock yet.
Yeah. I still have the key you gave me, so.
Okay. All right. I'll see you as soon as I can. I'm a little bit away, but I think I can make some good time getting back.
Okay. I'll head over there now. I'll go make my excuses.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Never a problem. You know that. I love you.
I love you too.
And you already hear her saying, "Hey guys," as she hangs up the phone.
Okay. Well, hang on. I've got to get there. Let's see if I have any prayer of getting there. If I don't just trust that I'm supposed to go where I need to go. Curse this level 3 forgiveness. I'm saving it. I'm saving it. I need it tonight, so I can't just use it. Yikes. That's a chosen. I don't need that. Okay, I'm gonna hope and pray to God that I need to go back to my house and He'll let me go there, because I have no prayer of actually hitting the roll if I try to use trespass. Yep, that's an 11.
Pretty sweet. Okay. Sorry, my attention's slightly split because of the chat.
Yeah.
I'm going to close the chat for now.
Sorry.
No, it's my own fault for not being able to focus. So, do you have the move it up?
I do. It's in the Hangout.
Oh, look at you. Cool. So you're teleporting home?
I am going to hope that God lets me go home. Because I can't demand, I just ask politely. Hey God, can I go home, please?
Are you taking Gideon?
I can take Gideon. Yes, I will. Well, sure, I'll take Gideon if he
Are
wants
you
it.
asking him first, or is this
Yeah.
just like a...
Boom. I'll just Gideon. I'm heading back home. We're gathering Dakota at my house. Keep her away. I have been trusted with a faster means of transportation, if you'll permit me.
He looks hesitant for a moment because he wants to sort of report back into the pack, but his need to be there to protect his daughter overcomes, and he just nods and says, "What do I need to do?"
Just take my hand.
He does so. And yeah, God is good, and God is recognizing that you have 48 hours to be Gabe, and you you teleport onto your front porch.
Okay. I unlock the door and I go inside. Come on in. I walk downstairs into the basement for a moment, and I pick up a couple extra weapons, like my crossbow, and I just kind of put it next to the door, just in case. I sling my sword, and you want something to drink? Change of clothes?
No, I'll just tear those two. I'll just wait.
Okay.
Those crossbow bolts won't do you much good without Wolfsbane.
That's a really good point. Granddad wasn't much of a werewolf hunter, so no Wolfsbane.
Werewolves don't usually come in the shade of evil that these ones do.
A lot of evil in this town.
And further out, maybe it's something in the water. Look, is Dakota headed here?
She is on 64. She's about 7 minutes out.
Okay. Sophie probably beats them there since she didn't have to, go obtain brothers. In just a couple minutes. So I don't have any dialogue that needs to happen in the next however many minutes. Does anybody? Do you want to role play getting the brothers? Do you want to just get to the house? What do we want to do?
I'm good if we fast forward past that.
Yeah.
I can imagine dialogue with two young boys.
Get in the fucking car.
What?
What? Hold on. Wait,
I change into my scary ghost form. Get here, the car.
Dude,
They'd laugh at you,
dude, I gotta finish this level.
I'm 4 up on this man.
Let me get to a save spot.
Pause the game. It'll be there when you get back.
Or will it?
Okay.
Yes. The game's complete. You heard the dog.
I've been really good about it too. Oh well.
Adam has his own mini game of mute the mic before the dog barks.
Usually he gives me warning, but any case.
Cool. So Sophie looks pretty cool as she's walking up the drive, and she's getting off the phone as she parks. And when she goes to put her key in the door, she's mildly surprised to find it open, but she opens it slowly, her hand going towards her handbag. And is like, Gabe?
Right here.
Okay. And she steps inside and says, I'm here. Oh my goodness. Is he okay?
He'll be all right. Gideon, have you met Sophie? This is Dakota's dad.
I would have met... No, because Sophie didn't come in for prom. So, no. So this is the first time meeting. Well, I would say it's a pleasure to meet you, but I'm not sure the circumstances under which you're here, so... She turns to you. So what can I do?
I think you and I need to talk. Gideon, here, take this. And I hand him my sword. While the crossbow bolts won't do much, that will. I don't know if you need it, but...
Sorry, I'm picturing... he looks mildly baffled. He has never wielded a sword in his life.
Okay, well, not your thing? No?
He just sort of holds up his fingers in the imitation of claws, like...
Okay, all right. I sling it on my hip, it vanishes again. Okay. Just thought I'd offer. They're not nearby anyway. Not yet.
Yeah, if we're in town, we've probably got at least an hour and a half.
Okay. Good. Okay. Sophie, would you mind coming with me for a moment?
Sure.
Okay, so I leave him and I head upstairs. Sorry with the cryptic. It's kind of a lot, so just gonna go out with it. Sophie, I got 48 hours. Actually,
48 hours till what?
being an angel has a timer on it, and it's not a. It's sort of Logan's Run-ish, I suppose. You don't. You don't die, but your humanity does. Well, that's not
But-
quite true.
But you've been an angel for months now.
Apparently, it's kind of like boot camp. Eventually, you start to commune with the higher planes, and they make a decision on you, and then you start. Your normal feelings start to suppress. You start forgetting things. You start losing your insecurities and your compassions and your devotions and, well, not your devotions, but you simply cease being human.
How do we... No, there's got to be some way to stop it. There's always something.
God, I wish there were. Maybe there is. I haven't given up on. Powerful emotions tend to hold it back. Feelings, uh, being near you alone is making me feel better than I have all day. There is a very real possibility, though, and I think we need to accept that this is not going to go the right way. But I don't know that. I only know that when it happened to me already, I was given. One of the other angels gave me a little more time.
We need more answers than that. And she shouts at the top of her lungs, Ariel, show your sorry ass. And she's waiting, and of course he doesn't appear.
I pull her to me. That's not the biggest problem either, Sophie. I'm sorry to dump this on you. I wish I didn't. I wish I could ease you into it, but I don't have any time.
What's
I can't.
the biggest problem? What is the bigger... There is nothing bigger than you burning away in... You already... No, I did not wait 4 years for you to love me, for you to just be gone now. I did not... That's not happening. That is not allowed. I practically sold my soul because I thought it could mean... This is not happening.
I don't want it to happen either. And I'm not giving up, but I have to. You got to have a plan B, okay? We got to have a plan B. I'm going to do everything in my power to stay here with you. But I have to make sure there are a couple things done. There's no but.
There's always the fucking but, Gabe. She said, she sort of shoves you away a little, and she says, and if you aren't going to deal with what I think is the bigger problem, then I will. And she reaches into her purse, and she pulls out the angel gun, and she releases the safety, and she points it levelly at your forehead and says, Ariel!
He won't come, Sophie.
Oh, yes, he will. Yeah. She presses it further against the forehead. Said, I would rather lose him than watch him become something he is not. Ariel! And as the last syllable bounces back off of the wall, he appears behind your right-hand shoulder, one eyebrow raised, and one hand rested lightly on you.
Isn't this what you wanted, Ariel? Why are you even here?
What's mine is mine, child.
Oh, but I'm not yours. I belong to heaven. I'm just your soldier.
His hand squeezes a little bit tighter and says, there is so much that you don't understand.
I don't need to.
And your willful ignorance has led to your allowing yourself to become close to this girl who is currently pointing a bullet at your forehead, the only bullet which can destroy you. And when I say destroy you, Gabriel, I do not just mean the mortal flesh that you wield, I mean destroy you.
Yeah. Ariel? Fuck off. I'll deal with this. I have 48 hours. You let me have it. You can have me for the rest of eternity, but you're not going to get me for these 48 hours. Go away.
He makes a little scoffing noise and says, you're not even going to give your lady the audience she's demanded.
I don't trust you.
Sophie is getting very impatient, and tears are streaming down her face, and her hand's shaking a little bit. And then, as you're going back and forth, she sort of cuts you off with a scream, and she turns and she fires into Ariel's chest. 6 times. She empties the clip into him.
Okay. I got it. I was planning on doing something else with this, but okay. All right. So I have a mantle from heaven that I got when I became an angel. And that mantle is beyond angelic. It's the balance between being a human and being an angel. It's being chosen and all that put together. I'm going to put my hand on Ariel as he, I'm assuming, falls over. And I'm going to heal his wounds at the cost of my own mantle. Everything.
Shit.
And while I'm at it, because this is, I got one shot at this, I grab Sophie's hand. And I don't do it nicely. And I call out to that darkness in her. If I'm going to surge brighter than the sun, I'm taking it all with me. So I pull it into me. I light it on fire with my own mantle, and after it's gone, I push it all into Ariel, so that he gets cleansed and pure. She's clean, and I'm whatever happens after that's all over.
So obviously, this is a role. I just don't know how to handle it.
So, is it okay if I offer a suggestion?
Of course, yeah. The
Okay.
thing I don't know how to handle it is kind of like, please feed me suggestions.
Okay, so this saving someone's soul is something angelic in nature. Healing an archangel or a host is something divine as well. So I argue that this is forgiveness. I would say it's just a pure. It's sort of like what Haniel? It's Haniel, right? Haniel did to me. So, and I have a little power that I have not used yet, called Grace and Brilliance. I will read it because it's pertinent. When you are at 3 forgiveness, you are able to call upon blessings and divine might. Add 7 to your next roll.
Oh shit, son. All right.
So my stat is a 10.
Yeah.
However, it leaves you drained, and your little angelic little chart resets to 0. No shit.
Okay. I almost want to make this 2 rolls because it's 2 different situations. And so you need to make the hard choice of which one of those people get your supercharged roll and which one gets the more chancy one.
Okay. Then we'll do it this way. I will heal Ariel. I will try to heal Ariel first without the super spanky roll, because then I still have a +3, which gives me. It's not super duper, but it's something. And then with Sophie, I'm going to go all the way. She's got to live. I don't like.
Yeah.
And I don't like Ariel anyway. He's an asshole.
And yeah, and go ahead. Okay, and that one will be a straight up dark roll because that one's magic, not angel powers, because angel powers are ineffective against this weapon.
Okay. Then I'll heal Sophie first. Wait, let's see, because if I'm trying to figure out the math here. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, I'll heal Sophie first for the big mighty, because then my stat resets to 0, so I have a better chance. Okay, so if I roll a 2, I'm gonna fall down laughing. Just warning you. That's a 20. Boosh!
Oh my god. Okay, so as the gun is slipping from her now numb hands onto the floor, and she's dropping to her knees, full of this crazy mixture of emotions of fear and self-loathing and rage. The cold hot cold hot swelling of rage that's impossible to ignore or reason with, that she's been experiencing more and more lately, has just completely overwhelmed her, and she is unaware of anything except her tunnel vision on the bleeding, slightly melting hosts in front of her, and she slowly sort of just collapses on herself physically, falling backwards and sliding against the wall. In your franticness, you reach inside yourself for these powers that have become stronger, and you reach so far, so far down, farther than you needed to, and then farther still, and you just pull it up from within you, and you radiate out towards her, and it's not just the heavenly blessing that's moving through you. It's fused with your love for this girl, with your unconditional love for this girl, and what's more godly than that? And it washes over her, and you see her soul laid out bare before you, almost as if it were a garden. And these black vines that had been creeping underneath the otherwise young but promising garden just are obliterated. They're gone. It's like they never were. And her tears change from disgust and fear to wonder as she looks up at you.
Aces. So now for the corpse. The shock, I let go of her, I stagger because I'm now drained. And I look at Ariel, and I'm going to try to marshal whatever power I have left, because it's probably fading. It's fading at this point, because I probably destroyed it. I'm going to do, I reach over, and I cradle him. I put my hand on his heart, and I just pray. And it comes out in this really horrendous Hebrew, because I don't really know it well enough, but it's there. that, and I'm a child trying to live amongst adults. But through him, I am worthy of to sing the psalms. You have a mission that is beyond me. I ask heaven that the last bit of my blessings be given to you. So the moral of the story, pray before you roll.
Oh my goodness, sir. Oh my goodness. See, that's what all the bad dark roll karma has been saving up for. 'Cause oh wow. So
May I?
I kind of had an idea, but go ahead.
Okay. So
As I say, because I wanted an excuse as to why you're so awesome. So I was kind of thinking that Katie, like, kind of heard you.
I'll take it. She probably is sitting there in her web going, is he actually trying to do magic? This boy needs help. Hey, minions, go forth, bite him on the shoulder, radioactive spider, give him powers or something.
So yeah, so how about I will tell the Katie part and you can tell what happens.
Okay. Love it.
Because I think Katie reaches out because she is gone. She's in she is in a dark place, and a dark place is not a bad place, but she is in a dark place, a powerful place, where she is weaving webs and trying to keep do good in her own way. And she reaches out to you, and much like a spider, like much of what she does, she finds the gaps and the cracks in your knowledge and your experience, and just sort of knits them together with spider silk, and so it flows out of you smoothly and not as rough or poorly as it may have.
Okay. That's awesome. Love it. I'm gonna bake her a cake. Okay, so as so the holy fire sort of it's sort of, as I'm holding him with my hand over his blood's covering me, there's a slight tinge of a burning in the air, and the fire is much weaker than it once was. There's not much left of it. In fact, it's fading very quickly. And I close my eyes, and there's this surge of power, but it's not angelic anymore. It's sort of like if you looked at the layers, the first part was angelic, and then the rest of it came from a very human place. Because the magic is a human construct, not an angelic one. And so the bullet wounds, the bullets push their way out onto the floor. The wounds start to heal, and enough that Ariel opens his eyes. The first thing that Ariel notices is that now I'm bleeding. So when it's done, I let go, or he probably, I would say he kind of doesn't like being cradled by me. We don't really like each other. He kind of looks up, scoots back a bit, and I go to stand, and I kind of slump, and I look down, and I'm bleeding. I go, huh. And the pièce de résistance of the whole thing is that the blood is decidedly human. which is the only reason why I could survive the wounds at all. So has anybody noticed there's 6 gunshots went off upstairs of a 50 caliber Desert Eagle?
Well, even if they had somehow missed that, Sophie is definitely screaming for Dakota. That's the thing. All right. So Ariel reaches down and, very dispassionate, doesn't seem to really care that you're bleeding, reaches inside of you and gathers up the remaining tendrils of your angelic gift and sort of tucks it in his pocket and says, "Perhaps these would have been better spent elsewhere." And he leaves.
Well, fuck you too, asshole. Oh. So, and I look over, and say, "You're okay." I kind of fall over. "You're okay. You're gonna be fine."
She's babbling, "Can I call an ambulance? Is it okay to call an ambulance? May I call an ambulance?"
I think it'd be wise.
Oh my god. She dials 911. Well, not all the time. She could call an ambulance.
So, Dakota, do you come upstairs?
I didn't even know we'd arrive, so yeah.
Yeah, because we kind of fast forward everybody getting there. And
It was 8 minutes away. You were 8 minutes away, so I'm assuming this has been.
You teleported. It was.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. Yes, absolutely. Charging upstairs, Spence is with me, so I assume Spence is traveling through walls and coming there before me.
I probably just jump up through the ceiling and floor.
You know, like Lionel Richie, but different.
What the hell is going on here?
It's a long story.
Are you bleeding?
I am bleeding a lot.
Why are you bleeding?
I got shot. Can we move on? I need some help.
I didn't shoot him, I swear!
Sophie, you have to focus. I'm going to bleed out. I need you to help me here.
Okay. And she goes back to her phone. She had hit an extra number when trying to dial 911. She's breathing. So she's lost some of the collectedness now that the taint's gone. She's a little bit more of the early scattered Sophie.
Sophie, get some bandages. Give me the phone. Give me the phone.
Okay, Dakota.
Yeah, I got it. Give me the phone.
No, not you. She takes the phone back. You're stronger than I am. Apply pressure.
Okay.
God.
Yeah.
Damn it. Yes, I need an ambulance at Melbourne Way. Yeah, thanks. What's wrong? Bullets. Hangs up. I'm not explaining this.
Really? You just hung up on 911?
They're
That's not good.
They're gonna come.
They probably have heard the shots fired. That was a big gun.
No, the first thing that happens when you call in from a phone, they'll GPS it. Believe me, in my old hunter days, that was like the thing. You had, how long could you get before the vampire called?
It's okay.
Just shush me. I'm not dying, I think.
How bad does he look?
Probably sitting at 3 harm at least.
Yeah, he's limping.
Okay, you're right. You're not gonna die, but we should totally make sure you don't bleed out.
Yes,
So-
that would be good. There's an upside to this whole thing.
What's that?
I go over and I no brand. I got a reprieve. I'm not going anywhere, guys. Well, I might go somewhere. I might go to college. But I'm not going with Ariel.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah. I look at Sophie. There are some things worth giving up eternity for.
Yeah, she starts crying again.
It's a thing.
What's the thing with Sophie? What did you do to her? She's a little
I
less
saved.
together.
There was a piece of the King in Yellow still inside. It is now no longer there.
It's pretty awesome, Gabe.
There's only one real downside to this, Dakota. I'm not much good in a fight right now. And they're coming.
I know. It's fine. It's not your fight anymore.
That's a load of shit, and we both know it. I gave your father my word, and that doesn't matter that I'm not an angel anymore. And come on, you're gonna have all this fun without me? Smack her.
No. He is a werewolf, and I can phase through what you can do. So, yeah, you smack her.
Just lay still. This is not some crazy action movie. You are really hurt, and you need to stay here until the ambulance comes. And hopefully that's going to be enough commotion that the pack will not come here.
My dad's gonna kill me.
Well,
On the bright side, he can actually do that now.
Yeah.
It's not so bad being dead.
Are you kidding me? I got a lot to live for. Got a lot to live for.
All right.
And we still have to find Ophelia. That still has to happen.
Yeah.
I don't remember this hurting so bad the last time.
I don't think there were 6 bullets last time.
you shot him with 6 bullets?
She shot Ariel. I took the damage. It's a thing. I saved Ariel's immortal life. And I guess my reward was mortality.
Doesn't seem fair.
It's.
Oh. Go ahead, Spence. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't knock it.
No. I would say that being an angel who has the memories of being human and all of the wonder and joy, friendships and pain, and knowing what that was and not having it anymore, I think that might be hell. Because I saw what it did to Haniel. I could feel what it did to her. I think that's the real tragedy.
I'm really glad you're not going.
Well, I'm really glad I'm not going. I wanted to be here. I wanted to see you guys through. I got a big pile of letters I guess I don't have to send.
Oh,
awesome.
with the letters again?
I thought I had 48 hours!
The letters.
Do you have any idea how hard it is to get a hold of people who live on at least 3 different cities and all across the whole continent? Maybe you don't. I don't know.
This works pretty well.
It doesn't when they don't answer because they're still mad that you were chosen in the first place.
I've been texting your mom for like 2 weeks now.
Sphincter says, what? You've been texting my mom?
Calm
Yeah.
down, babe, calm down. We can talk about this later.
No, I'm all good. I can talk. Talking is a free action.
We start hearing sirens in the background. No, I think the ambulance is almost here. I think that we can talk about this later.
Good call. Okay. I was like, okay. Wait.
Babe. So what's the story for the police? Because the police are going to want to understand why you have bullet holes, but the bullets are clean and on the ground, and...
Well, I think the first thing would be is to dispose of the bullets. You're going to have Let's get rid of the bullets.
I pick
Especially.
up the gun and the bullets, and I'm just gonna teleport somewhere.
Good call. Sophie, you need to go into. You need to before you talk to the police. You need to change and you need to take a shower. There's gonna be residue on you.
Yeah, okay. I have my change of clothes here, so that shouldn't be too bad. And I'll throw the other ones in the wash. You need to do laundry anyways, eyeing your dirty laundry hamper.
Good
Oh,
call.
she's eyeing the dirty laundry hamper.
Well, that's where it starts.
I'll continue applying pressure.
Okay, so the EMTs are gonna brush up and start asking the pertinent questions and get him into the ambulance and stuff. Whatever EMTs do. I've never seen an EMT deal with someone with gunshot wounds, so I'm not really.
I have.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Jeebus.
I was a witness of a gunshot.
Eek.
That's a story for another time.
Fair enough. So I start back. I was like, I don't even know what happened, man. I mean, I was just standing near the window, and my girlfriend and I were having an argument, and then like I got shot. I heard something out the street. I don't know if it was like a drive-by or something, but man, and then I went down. It was terrible. I'm lucky. I'm surprised. I mean, it kind of itches. It's weird.
Don't touch it. I come back. Poof.
Is that morphine? It's awesome.
Luckily, the EMTs aren't really concerned about your story at this point. They're concerned about getting you well. So Sophie's able to, Gideon is able to kind of open the window that is not shattered while you're telling the story and sort of pop out the screen.
I love it. Nice to see some things never change.
And Sophie's in the shower. She's planning on explaining she took the shower to help with the shock, and she gets out in time to get on the ambulance with you.
Oh, Dakota, your brothers, where are they? We probably need to. Wait, she's not here. I'm just gonna lay back down.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I think it will be. So, the full moon's in a day.
Yeah. As long as nobody gets killed, we have 13. We'll see how that goes.
I'm assuming you give Gideon the breakdown of what you've learned.
Yeah, we're on short time, so sounds like a conversation that we can have kind of off screen. I assume he'd agree. He would agree.
I'm going to say we're in the middle of this conversation. You have relayed facts about what needs to happen. At which point Gideon goes, we have 12.
What?
Marcus was a mole. He was a traitor. He was working for the other pack. We have 12.
Okay. That's a problem.
Can you turn someone else in time?
No.
Well, then we gotta talk to these people. We gotta reason with them.
They're not all evil.
Gideon looks mildly surprised at that. They're not.
No, they're not. Even Marcus isn't really. He's just a coward. In fact, he's probably the one you want to lean on. He feels guilty for what he did.
We're gonna have to face him at some point. At least now we have the possibility of getting something out of it.
You like that? I think that's the way. It's the only thing we got. You definitely don't want to risk the Dustin, the big one, innocent and in a weird way innocent, and just following, which is, I know, kind of strange considering what he has done, but it's really true.
Gideon looks mildly confused. Who's Dustin? I've never seen a Dustin.
Oh, the really big one. His name is Dustin. He's like 16. It's actually a really sweet kid. It's really terrible.
Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't stay like that all the time, Gideon. I mean, he actually does change back. His family's not really very nice to him, and he has some developmental disorders.
I have an idea.
What's that?
Go for it.
You guys aren't gonna like it.
Does it involve getting shot 6 times?
Are we inviting James somewhere?
Actually, I'm thinking the whole crowd. Haven't been out with my friends in a while.
That they don't have to be there willingly. We just need, and we only need one. Perhaps one that's easily restrained, like Marcus. He's a little twerp. Spence, you are truly devious. I love you.
Just thinking out loud is all.
I think Gabe would like to see somebody else be possessed for once. That'd be cool.
It's a thing.
Well,
You
heck,
guys-
if we only need one, I can possess them. We just have to corner them.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have the ability to scry anymore.
Um,
We know
So-
where they're headed.
Sophie shakes her head a little bit and says, "It would be better if, Spence, if you did have James, I guess, help, because it would be useful, from what I understand, for you to be there to help pull Joey back in. I mean, you're not technically a necessary part of the ritual, but to have a guide would be good."
All right. Well, I'm sure James will be more than willing to possess someone.
Yeah. I'm never doing that again.
You don't have to.
That's good. Of course, I wouldn't be as appetizing now, I think.
I don't think he's really that picky.
He's one of those. So he's a possessing hoe.
You clearly don't know James.
James is just a hoe.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
All right, give me a minute. I'll see if I can't round out the crew.
Okay. You know, if we possess one of their guys, it's only going to cause this to escalate.
Dakota, I'm your friend. And as your friend, anything that says we shouldn't do this needs to be thrown out right now. If this is the only way, this is the only way. And I know I will get no help from my old choir. I can promise you that. So if they just have to stand there for 20 minutes while a ritual is cast, and then they're let go without any trouble, there are worse things that could have been done. The things that they, especially if you get a bad one. I mean, Marcus is just a twerp. But if you wanted to get a really bad one, I don't really feel so horrible about, making him do the pokey and turn himself around. Love it.
I wish we could just reason with them. I mean, Dad, is it that far gone? I mean, they're not going to listen to any reason whatsoever.
Do you assume that we didn't attempt reason?
Well, I guess the question does mean I do assume that. I mean, what if we could barter something? I don't know. Is all this over me?
It started out over an idiotic young upstart who decided that his pack didn't have enough land. That kept it at a low simmer. Years of very tense council meetings, but nothing much worse than that. Although one of them did lose their cool. It's how Draven got the scar he has, but as per protocol, terminated that individual. The rest of the pack, of course, ignoring the fact that the, the young one attacked Raven from behind while leaving a council meeting. Of course, blamed us, but it didn't boil over until they discovered you. And now, every one of us has been fighting to keep them from you.
And that's not going to go away until we figure out a way past this.
Well, until very recently, we had been holding back from lethal force. But after they exterminated we no longer have such reservations.
Their alpha is evil to the core, Dakota. You can feel it. The things. I wanted to put a brush in my own skull after I read his mind.
If the alpha's dead, will the others see reason?
It's hard to say. It's difficult to, when looking inside of a werewolf pack, it's difficult to pull the threads apart.
Is there a thing where it's a leader to leader kind of like dispute resolution? First blood and all that? Is that a thing?
You watch too many movies, son.
I'm on morphine. Hello. This is fabulous.
I don't know very many people who use the word fabulous in casual conversation.
Well, I think you found one, my friend. I think you found one.
Let's give him some more morphine.
I don't need any more morphine. I promise. It didn't really hurt that bad anyway. I don't even know why they do this. At least I'm not strapped down this time.
Is Gabe getting carted off? I'm just trying to contextually figure out like what's going on around us right now.
I'm going to say that, yeah, no, Gabe is going to have to exit stage left soon. They're going to want to take him to the hospital, and he's probably not going to be allowed visitors until they're done working on him. I'm assuming there's going to be stitches and stuff.
It'll take months for this to heal properly.
Right, but I mean, at least the getting to the point where he's allowed to leave is not going to be particularly quick either. So, and they're not going to leave him just sitting on a stretcher in his bedroom.
Right.
No, I'd be in ICU
Yeah. So
at best.
yeah. So I was kind of thinking about that. I was like, maybe we can just transition to the hospital, but then I was like, no, because then there's that time gap of him getting formally patched up. So yeah, we will say that Gabe and Sophie go off to the hospital where Gabe's dad is going to meet them, and you guys are left without.
Spence, do you think we could actually pull this off? Pull one of their member away?
Do we have a choice not to try?
Well, I mean, if we have no other options, what's the name of their alpha, Dad?
Montgomery.
Oh, he even has a dick name.
My host family's name, father's name was Montgomery.
Maybe we could offer something to Montgomery that he wants.
Huh.
Sorry. It got really quiet there for a minute.
Let's So Dad, you think maybe we could, I don't know, set up a meeting with Montgomery and then gank him? Just ambush him? I mean, evidently it's not above them.
Montgomery has never shown up to any of the council meetings without his full pack behind him, and he doesn't meet us on the battlefield.
Because he's since Dustin, right?
I'm interested in these council meetings.
There's not much to him anymore.
Why? Is it a lot of talking, or is it mostly like... I'm hesitant to say a political pissing match, because you are werewolves, after all.
Cute. Never heard that one before.
Really? That sounds so obvious. Alright, look. I've got backup waiting. They're going to your place, so whenever you're ready, we can head out.
I wonder if I could talk Dustin out of being part of that pack.
I've never met the kid. None of us had any idea who or even what this guy is.
I would imagine he's probably at our house. You want to leave the boys here and go? Spence, can you bring your ghost posse?
Yeah.
Gideon sort of shakes his head. I want you to stay here too, Dakota.
No. It's not going to happen, Dad.
And it's not just me being overprotective, it's that it makes it a lot harder to fight when you're also defending someone. They don't need to take all of us out. They just need to knock you out and get away with you. That's all they want.
Can't. We can't do this forever. And
He tilts his head a little bit, and a couple heartbeats after he does, you can feel it too, and you can feel your pack coming closer. Every time your heart beats, you hear 9 more.
wow. I don't know what to do. I don't want to throw anyone's lives away. We need another wolf to save Joey. I mean, I'm even willing to give them a little bit of what they want if it would just stop it.
It won't stop it, Dakota. That's not how they work. And his face looks a little green at just the thought.
Well, I mean, consider the alternative. Who else from our family has to die defending me? That's not a choice you need to make. That's not fair.
It's more than just the fact that you're my daughter. It is the terrifying potential of what might happen. There hasn't been a purebred wolf in centuries, and the legends are terrifying. And if that pup ended up in the wrong hands, raised by someone like Montgomery, it would be more than just dominating the werewolf packs.
Okay.
And in that moment, you feel a command in the back of your mind, because Draven is calling you to meet him, to meet the pack.
Spence,
Uh-huh.
I have to go meet the pack. I don't know if you can keep up, but I guess you can.
Where are you meeting him?
Can I feel it? Can I tell?
Yeah. I don't know if you could map it in your brain, but you can tell that he's maybe 500 yards away.
Oh, it's really close.
Okay. Well, tell me when you get there and I'll meet you.
Okay. I guess he's calling us. Yeah. Let's go talk to Draven. I love the play-by-play of Gabe. Would you please put your phone away, sir? Yeah, in a minute.
No, a friend of mine just said a really funny joke. I have to say lol.
Oh, it's fabulous.
So I'm trying to find a picture. I guess it doesn't really matter. There's too many members of the Wolfpack. Okay, so they keep homing in on you, sort of sticking to the shadows and sort of avoiding the houses, but being bolder than they might normally be due to the circumstances.
You saw that?
Um, and yeah, so eventually you and Spence and Sophie stays behind with your, or not Sophie. So your brothers just stay behind in Gabe's house because why not?
You are such an asshole.
um,
It's karma, dude.
um, and
Mm-hmm.
so and then when you meet them, the 7 of the wolves sort of fan out and sit down, and then 2 of them come forward, and Draven and Rain, his wife, shift back to human, and in their alpha state, that they're powerful enough that they can actually maintain clothing through the shift. But that's an alpha thing, pretty much. And I don't know if we already talked about this. I think we have, but Draven is the guy who was at President Spencer's death that killed the vampire. And was in that back alley.
Big stuff.
And he, in Dakota, you feel that same urge you did the first time you met him to sort of fall to your knees in worship, but you've got much stronger footing now as a werewolf, and so you don't quite succumb to it. But it is strong enough that you find yourself hunching, which isn't out of character for Dakota, but but you can definitely feel the power of his presence and the importance of him to the pack. And this is your first time meeting. Have you met the whole pack? No, I think you've only met pretty much Raven and Falcon, right?
Yep.
And Falcon has been, yeah, so this is your first time meeting the rest of the pack. You saw them briefly when Luke summoned
Yeah.
them.
We
But
had the big fight with the Chinese vampire lady.
Yep.
Right?
Right. So yes. So you might recognize some of their coats, but this is your first time meeting them. And Draven is doing his normal sort of stoic, slightly aggressive dad thing, and Rain is clearly his counterbalance, and she is much softer. And she steps forward and takes your hands in hers, and leans forward and kind of nuzzles your cheek. And their physical behavior is far more wolfish than you're used to within your own family. There's a much stronger divide between human behavior and wolf behavior, but their lines are much more blurred. And so she kind of nuzzles your cheek, and she looks very pleased to finally meet you. And you can feel this coming from her, especially with her touching you. You can definitely sort of feel what she's feeling, so she doesn't even need to use any words.
Thank you for calling me and accepting me.
She sort of beams at you, and that counterbalance to what she says next is kind of odd, but she's smiling, kind of pleased, and she says, well, it is sad to have lost so many of our cousins. At least our hands are no longer tied, and we can eliminate this threat.
What do you mean? How are we going to eliminate the threat?
Her smile gets a little bit wider. And she says, you have much to learn, and I cannot wait to help teach you.
This is the part where the pop doesn't get the full answer because it won't make sense to me yet, I assume.
Because giving you the answer would mean skipping the right questions. And we don't have much time.
We need to save Joey. I need the whole pack's help.
She sort of glances at Gideon, and you realize that they're sort of doing their own nonverbal communication, and her face clears, and she says, so we will need to leave one of them intact for this ceremony.
We need to not die, or we'll have to leave two of them intact.
That's acceptable. We have a rare opportunity. At this point, she steps away after sort of sliding her hand up and down your arm, and turns to Draven, who speaks up and says, Montgomery has finally shown his weaselly face. He wants to be present because he wants to ensure that he is the first to take you.
Is that by conquest, or have we made it some kind of deal?
Driven doesn't often show emotion. He looks flat out shocked that would even cross your mind. And he says flatly, every last one of us would lay down our life before we would hand you over to him. The rest of the wolves move forward and start kind of sensing that kind of some of the formalness is easing a little bit. And the alphas have met you, and they're all very curious to sniff you and greet you. And some of them kind of wag their tails a little bit because they have felt you for a long time, since before you knew you were a wolf, and they have, whether you've known it or not, shared in your pain and your joys, and they are very excited to finally meet you.
It's got to be an amazing feeling. I mean, almost overwhelming to feel so accepted. I'm really happy to be part of the pack. I need to save Joey from the fate that I gave to him.
Then, my child, and this is Rain again. You have a question you must ask yourself. Do you... although she has a slight smile, because she kind of already knows the answer of your heart, even if she doesn't know the answer that will cross your lips, and says, do you truly love this young man?
Yes.
Then perhaps instead of completely eradicating the gift you gave him, perhaps we can modify it a little bit.
Are you saying you can turn him into a wolf?
With your help, and perhaps with the help of your living impaired friend.
Guess you can come out, Spence.
Hello. I didn't know you could hear me there.
I think there's a clicking on the mobile phone, actually.
It's a touch screen, but all right. Well, anyway, what do I need to do?
I spent much time last night communing with the mother. And she was uncharacteristically chatty. It seems she's fond of you.
Fond of who now?
She's looking at Dakota.
I thought so.
You have your own gods, dude.
Good God.
Wow.
And her smile turns a little bit more sly. We do have a recent opening.
I'm sure Joey would prefer it over his current state. hate to speak for him, but I really can't afford to wait and ask him. We should do it.
She reaches out to you with her that other sense, that one that you're getting more and more comfortable speaking with and listening with, and says in that way that she is filled with pride to see you taking those steps towards seeing that you are a part of something worthy and beautiful, and that you are shedding the shame.
Just nod, but yeah, it's a gift.
She looks at the rest of the wolves, still kind of taking turns pressing up against your legs and sniffing your hands. And her smile definitely turns wolfish, and she says, "So then, shall we hunt?"
I'll shift down into a wolf and join them. A big wild hunt. That sounds really kind of awesome.
Swing. So I think I kind of want to tell this in an overarching way and not a play-by-play way. So I think instead of like a whole bunch of volatile rolls, I think we're going to do a dark roll to see how much Dakota keeps her individuality from the pack when she goes full wolf. And how much she is Dakota and how much she is sort of carried along for the ride.
That's cool. Yeah, let's do that. One dark roll, which doesn't matter, but I'll take my XP anyway.
Yeah, I'm still holding out, getting another move tonight. From the hospital
bed. ICU. Yeah. Okay. Might be nice if I hit the die stream map. And I have got a 1 in dark. Here comes. It's daytime still?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure. And I'll now do one more die.
Like, that's a really low roll.
There we go.
As opposed to the natural
6.
20.
Sorry, dude.
Sorry.
I rolled a 6. I get carried away.
Yep. So when you shift, that all of the remaining barriers you had that sort of kept you feeling isolated from the pack are melted away. It's not painful, but it is overwhelming, because all of a sudden you are sharing the same space with 11 other people, including your father and brothers. Wow. And it's, we won't go. It's not like Pacific Rim intimate.
Wow.
But it's pretty intimate, and it's and touching, and all of them are a thought away, basically. And you don't use words as much. You communicate a lot more with physical sensations and sense. But there is such a tapestry of experience and loyalty there and a lot of love. Um, and it just feels so good to just be a part of that. And to know without any doubt or reservation that every single one of these wolves have your back to their dying breath, and that they will, and while they're not perfect, they will always be honest with you, and they will never leave you. And there is a joy in the running and a joy in the feeling the muscles move and the grace and the strength that comes with being a wolf. But noticeably, there is no joy in the killing. And there is blood. There is a lot of blood on both sides. Luckily, none of your pack are lost. But Clayton and Avis are put on the sidelines, so to speak. They can limp along, but they won't be hunting deer or anything else anytime soon. The first to go down is Marcus, as it must be. He did the unthinkable. He deliberately isolated his heart from his family, and he turned on them, all for the sake of a slightly higher position in another pack. And Dakota finds herself stronger than she ever thought she was. She knows more about how to use her body than she thought she ever could. As the sort of wave of this slowly recedes, almost an hour later, and she gets more of herself back, and it's less crowded out by other voices. She has a very clear image of the strong warrior and lover she'll become.
Nice.
And all that's left is Dustin, who is wounded, but not as terribly as he might have been if Gabriel had not shared the knowledge that he is who he is. They work together to keep him confused without hurting him overly much. And after the rest of his family is killed, unfortunately, he shifts back, too scared to go on, and then Rain spends the rest of the night gently just trying to talk to him and soothe him to the best of her ability. And it's understood that, you know, the pack will be crashing at Dakota's house, and then the next day, you will be performing the ceremony for Joey.
That was beautiful. That's really cool. We need suspense time.
Well, we'll be doing some crazy, awesome, spooky stuff not too long from now. What does Dakota do after the battle's won? And, you know, in an uncharacteristic sharing of emotion, her dad sobs relieved, snotty tears into her hair while holding her close.
Yeah. I think this is probably the first time that she's allowed herself to hope that she could be, you know, a regular member of the pack. This is not what she expected. This after the way Gilder acted towards her and the way her dad kept her at arm's length, it would just be indescribable. I mean, if only Luke were here, it would be perfect.
Somebody call Matt.
Who cares about your babies? Get online.
He doesn't have the computer anymore.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, his wife's probably talking to her family. But seeing as how they're all in Japan, I guess that's a thing.
Mm.
It's being recorded, so one night, just one night.
I still like the charity special idea. Just saying.
If you call now and donate $5, well, you'll get it back because we're not going to spend any money. And we want to do this. Let's be honest. You'll get a one-time T-shirt. Okay. Anyway.
We'll direct them towards a charity that's to help the emotional trauma of geeks whose favorite TV shows are canceled too soon.
Or alternatively, there are RPG characters who died before their time.
Excellent, yes.
Yep.
So sad.
It's real trauma.
So Gabe, you finally convince Sophie to go home and get some sleep. It's like probably 3 o'clock in the morning. You've been dozing on and off throughout the day while she talks to the police, and then the police talk to you, and they talk to her some more. So he said you were having an argument. Stuff like that. You finally convince her to go home and get a little bit of sleep and reassure her parents that everything's fine. Your dad refuses to leave. He's not going anywhere. He sleeps in the chair by your bed. And when you sort of broke the news to him, he sort of nodded a little bit and was like, I still love you.
Love you too, Dad.
But in the wee hours of the morn, someone you don't recognize comes in. He's early 30s, tall and wiry, and it's Avis from the Wolf Pack. So now, when he first steps in, before you see him and you just kind of feel him, you at first think it's Dakota.
Oh, hey, you're not who I thought you were.
He smiles and shakes his head a little bit, and he's moving tenderly, but he says, we understand that you've done a lot for our Dakota in our absence.
She did a lot for me, too.
He nods a little bit, and kind of gestures towards your hospital gown shirt, which is covering the bandages, and says, if you don't mind, and makes sort of a lifting motion.
Sure.
And he pulls. Huh? Go ahead.
Manly scar. I got manly scars coming. This is gonna be great.
Well, they might not be as scarred as you might have hoped. And he pulls a small, just apothecary jar from his pocket, which has a clear liquid in it, and says, Rain was rather insistent that I come here and give you this. And he unstoppers the bottle, and you get kind of like a a scent of the woods and wolf fur and um, sort of the and again like sort of a sense of Dakota, since she and the pack have the same sort of psychic scent at this point.
Wow, that's interesting.
And he tilts the bottle over and it sort of slides over your bandages and absorbs in. And he says, "It sounds really gross." He says, stopping the bottle again, but it'll help heal your wounds. So.
Well, thank you. No, I certainly have a lot to do, and being laid up in the hospital doesn't let me do it.
And just so you know, I've been also told to tell you that when you are feeling better, we would like to invite you up north. Draven would like very much to make you an honorary member of the pack.
Oh wow.
Doesn't mean a whole lot for humans, but it means that you can call on us whenever you need us.
Well, thank you. No, I'm very honored. I'm very happy that Dakota found her place. She has always been a person of family, and now she has an all-encompassing one. So it fills me with great joy.
He smiles and his eyes kind of shine a little bit, and he says, "I'm very much looking forward to finding my new little sister's buttons, as it were."
Oh, I have a list if you'd like to see it.
Oh no, half the joy is in the discovery, but I appreciate it.
No problem.
So I need to go get some rest myself. I've had an eventful day, and frankly, I don't want to be away from my pack right now. He laughed a little bit and said, "Frankly, I haven't been away from my pack for very long, in 10 years or so, so I get a little antsy."
I get it.
But you rest up. I assume we'll be seeing you tomorrow night.
Oh, I wouldn't miss it for the world.
All right then. He sort of sets the bottle down beside the table that's still half full and leaves. So Spence, what do you do overnight before your big moment tomorrow?
Well, I've got my sister, and I've got Jen. The two things seem mutually exclusive in some regards, and not mutually exclusive in others. So maybe I'll just spend time with them, get to know my sister, introduce her to Jen, spend time just being, just kind of making up lost time, I guess.
That's awesome. At some point in the conversation that night, Jen's going to make a comment about how she should probably get an apartment soon. She's still living with her parents, and that makes it a little awkward.
Well, if you want to take up a career in bank robbing, I can help you with that. But otherwise, well, apartments are good. That wasn't very funny. Yeah.
Jen and your sister get along pretty well. She's used to kids. Most of the kids she teaches are right about your sister's age, quote unquote.
She's a little older on the inside than she's on the out. But I get it.
She's like, really? Because that doesn't seem to be true of you.
What?
Oh snap! Oh snap!
Okay. Well, to be honest with you, I'm curious as to what happened to her. She's like, she hasn't aged a day. I don't even know what happened to mom and dad. And
Oh,
I guess it's
I had actually kind of worked that out in my head because your parents died in a car crash, which
Huh.
I established when Dakota met her, and apparently your aunt and uncle didn't know she was dead because they were looking after her. I think. Okay.
okay.
She did not react well to Spencer's death.
Okay.
And so her parents, your parents, brought her to a child psychiatrist who had no way of knowing that your sister would have a bad allergic reaction to what he prescribed, and she passed away.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not a vengeful spirit.
But I am.
You're not dead. You don't get a say in this yet.
And she died, and then the next day woke up in her bed. And your parents just sort of dealt with it. They came from a holy lineage. It wasn't that weird. They did regret that they never saw their son, but they assumed that that meant that he had been reincarnated. And we're grateful that some other parent somewhere had the joy that was their child. Yeah, that's how that went. So she's basically just been frozen at the same age. They, of course, had to, she was dead, so they homeschooled her, so to speak, but other than that, just sort of pretended like it was normal-ish.
You can get used to it. Well, at least I want for nothing.
Whew, okay. So, do we want, or specifically, what scenes do we want before the ceremony?
Could we have one with the three of us?
Of course, that seems like a thing, yeah.
Right before the ceremony?
It could be right before or just in every good series finale I've ever seen, there's a scene where everyone's brought together just to have that one last thing.
I think it should be at, I mean, not to sound selfish, but at Dakota's house, because that's where a lot of great scenes happened.
Okay.
Maybe members of the pack and other characters of note have gotten together, and this has actually become some kind of potluck type thing.
Well, I mean, it's probably going to be a pretty stressful ritual. I mean, stocking up and being relaxed before like the big game, so to speak, is probably not a bad idea, really.
The werewolf potluck it is then.
Sweet.
The pre-ritual feast.
Well, we're in eastern Kentucky, so it's like tailgating.
Nice.
You know, Dakota, I gotta say, your family cooks a mean boar.
We brought that thing down last night, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that explains why it's so fresh.
Had to
It's
get
a
around the teeth
boars.
marks.
In Kentucky, that's awesome.
Who knew?
No one. Okay.
When he says boar, he actually means pig. We like jumped into a farm.
You ate a pig.
There are feral pigs. There are feral hogs in Kentucky.
There you go.
They're spreading even as of August 8th, 2010.
Nice.
We call them UK fans.
Ooh.
Jesus.
My wife went there, so it's a thing. Okay, so yeah, I'll probably, with considerable argument from my father, go to this thing. But when he sees that I'm probably in better shape than he would have expected, and I kind of had that, Dad, I just spent the last 48 hours thinking that I was going to lose my entire existence. So you're going to let me go now, and I'll be back later. But I want to go to this potluck. I want to eat hot dogs and hamburgers and hang out with my friends.
There are no hot dogs. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I'm kidding. Of course there are hot dogs. It's Kentucky.
Yes, true statement. It's like Spam in Hawaii, man. It's like Spam in Hawaii.
So, Gabe, you healed up pretty quick.
Well, yeah, I have it's my sex move. What? Sorry, it's a thing.
Is that how mortals do it nowadays?
Falcon pipes up with, yeah, it's the wolf spit.
The what now?
Wolf spit. I mean, it's like holy wolf spit, but you know, wolf spit.
Mhm.
Holy
Yeah.
wolf spit.
Yeah.
Is this... He's not...
No.
You're not... This is fine? He's...
Will you just come out with it? I don't know what you're saying.
He's not gonna grow, like, body hair in unusual places, is he?
Falcon just
totally.
rolls his eyes and walks away with his fried chicken.
Sophie, please save me from him.
Chicken.
She shrugs and says, "I don't know. You could see him to use a little more chest hair."
Oh ho ho ho! I
You're
like
still
this
mad-
woman.
You're still mad about the targeting comment, aren't you? No. No, and I don't know.
She wasn't there, so she's like, "What targeting comment?"
Oh, nothing. Just figured that. Never mind. Here, would you like? I'll get you a plate. It'll be fine. Excuse me. So yeah, it looks like the gang's all here. Did you get So what's the Spence? What's the thing with you and Jen? I mean, you gonna make it more permanent or what?
That's gonna require some thought. I have no problems sticking around until she outgrows me.
She's not gonna outgrows you.
Well, I don't, strictly speaking, age.
Are you getting all Highlander on us?
I didn't know that you were into that kind of stuff, Dakota.
There can be only one.
No, there can't.
These are four brothers.
Mhm.
Oh my God! Really? Sorry.
I think we broke the MC.
I'm so used to my really not terribly good romance novels being like off in a corner. Carry on.
Dude,
Okay.
Seriously, Spence, one thing this whole experience has taught me is that you don't really know how much time you have.
I'm sticking around as long as I can. Let me put it that way. I'm not going to be the one who's leaving anytime soon.
Hey, speaking about the time you have, where are those letters?
Ooh, definitely.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yes. Oh yes.
Where are they? Or what are they?
They're here.
You know, Spence, there are things I can still do to you. I can ask your girlfriend. Never mind. Okay.
You can ask my girlfriend what.
Never mind. I quit. I quit. Fine, fine. This is not the first time that I've been in this situation where I get ambushed by everyone. Yeah, give me the envelope. If we're gonna do this, give me the envelope.
You know, I'm pretty sure that's going on your headstone, Gabe.
If we're going to do this.
No. Gabe, ambushed by everyone.
Mm-hmm. There's a comment here, but I'm just not gonna make it. Yeah, here. You know, if you don't mind me going 6 shades of beat red here, read them, trade them. That'd be great.
Snatches hers away, rips it open, completely ignores the wax seal that you probably spent a good 15 minutes on because you're Gabe. That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't care.
Covered it in wolfsbane. You're welcome. No, just kidding.
Ow.
I told you not to read it. No, kidding.
I already read mine. Yeah. Gabe. I look at Gabe, give him a song. I'm like, he knows how I feel about it.
I put my arm around him. Yep, we're bros. It's a thing. Now I gotta remember what I wrote. Yes. Well, I did the word count. It was 2,800 words.
For all of them?
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
That's the gift of NaNoWriMo. You learn how to write really fast. Oh. At least I don't have...
Totally hugging you and probably misting up a little bit and kissing your cheek. And...
You have a couple of soggy females, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
Oh.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Soggy tissue.
I punched
Way
her.
to... Please, I'll help you. I'll aid another on that. Yeah. I'm just glad I don't have to give these to my parents, particularly my dad.
You need to try and reconcile with your mom?
Yeah, you totally should.
I will eventually. I will in time. But, I mean, at this point, I don't really know what the future holds for me in a lot of different ways, but I will say I do want to get in touch with Isaiah and Sarah. Even if I can't reconcile with my mom, I just don't, especially Sarah. I mean, my world feels a little bit empty without her.
Since you're like human now, your mom will come around, especially since your aunt has been telling her that it's bullshit to walk out on her husband and da-da-da, especially since she couldn't give her a concrete reason.
Oh yeah, I mean...
So in a year or two, probably, everything will be roughly back to normal as far as your family goes.
That's good.
Yay, roughly back to normal.
Yeah, I mean, a lot can happen in a year. A lot did happen in a year. Oh, so when I put my arm around Spence, I go, "Hey, check this out," and I kind of turn him away so the other people can't see him, and I open up a small box.
Oh, oh.
I go, "My grandmother's for another time."
Aw. Isn't that sweet?
It is. If you tell her, I will end you.
I
Again.
don't know how you do it, but you know what? As a gesture to you,
I appreciate it. I won't tell. I won't ask Jen to get you back for me. I don't know. I got nothing, man. I got nothing. I'm just a dude.
really, you're gonna ask my girlfriend to withhold sex? That's what this is about.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that because that is just breaks the man code. We just can't. That's like two warring countries. You just can't do that.
Fair enough.
No, you do not need to be cock blocking for Spence.
No, I mean, and you'd be surprised at how badly your girlfriend can hurt you.
All right, I'll take that as a rather ominous statement.
It was really meant to be comedic. It's a thing.
All right.
Can't really blame it on being an angel now. You probably should read some joke books, Gabe.
Hey man, you stuck around. You guys stuck around. You at least stuck around for my jokes even when I wasn't. I was just a dude.
That's because she had a crush on you.
Thanks. That really makes me feel. That really does wonderful things for my self-esteem. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Spencer.
What?
That doesn't make it awkward at all.
Hey, we're about to go into a satanic ritual for Joey here.
No
No.
Satan.
Satanic?
What?
Yeah, what?
Dude, we are done with that. No
I
more of
didn't
that.
know that there were any other kinds of rituals. I assumed that it was satanic simply because it was a ritual.
Wait a minute. Weren't you and Katie like tight?
Yeah.
She never catered to the dark powers like that, dude.
All right.
That's just not-
well, I
that's
didn't
not how
really
she-
talk to Katie much other than the fact that I knew that she was, she vaporized that person in front of us.
Well, and then there's the thing with the spinners. Oh my god. Ugh. God.
And she turned your hair pink. That was downright devilish.
I didn't even do anything. It was so unfair.
And it was a
prom
lovely
pic-
pink.
Oh yeah, the prom pictures were ruined.
Photoshop.
Yeah, that's true. And then there was the whole like possessing thing, which that's something I'm very grateful not to have happen again. That was awful. Oh, and then there was the time where someone took my form and wandered around and hit on all my friends.
Yeah, I could have hooked up with you, but I knew it was not you.
Why? Because I actually could connect things together in a cohesive thought.
No, I didn't. That wasn't what tipped me off.
Okay. Well, I think the secret is safe. If I ever found that guy, I swear.
I don't even know if it was a guy.
That's true. Never know. Oh my goodness. So, Dakota, you got another year, right?
Yeah.
So, Spence, are you going to go to be a senior or ish?
I might convince myself to do it simply because, well, I guess if Jen's going to be there. Or is she a senior?
I think she graduated.
All right. Then no, probably not.
I don't blame you. It'll just be me.
I'll be around, though.
Yeah, I really got
to
to.
drop out.
What?
And it's not just you. Hey, Sophie points to herself. Like, I still have a year left.
You guys
Okay.
will rule the school. I mean, come on. Without me and Spence there, it is going to be like your place. You could just command the minions.
What is he talking about?
I have no idea.
He's Gabe. When does he ever say anything that makes sense?
You need to go to college. Totally.
Well, that's actually a thing, because I guess I can go now.
You always could.
No.
Um,
Have you met
up
my
until 24 hours ago.
Shoot, I'd be lucky. No. I would walk in and find all my teachers dead. It'd be great. Yeah. Interesting.
It's a whole new world.
Well, I probably, because I didn't accept and it's the summer, I probably would have to go in the fall in the spring at the earliest. So I guess I'll be around too.
Man,
Just
no rest.
no rest for the wicked, man.
Right?
You know, there's just one piece of this. So he goes, "All right, come on. Is there beer at this thing? Or are we staying sharp?"
Bunch of wolves that probably drinking a few beers, I would think.
Good. Okay, so I get beer. I pass it out to everyone. A toast to Ophelia, wherever she is, and Luke, for the one quest that the one quest we'll have after tonight, before we walk back to real life, will be to find them. And hopefully we'll see them soon.
I hope that they've ran off together and they're having a great time.
I can safely say that when I was writing the letter to her, one of the many you guys are making fun of me over, I sensed her at the edge of my perception, and she was happy. I couldn't get much else. I couldn't tell where she was, but she was happy.
Better than nothing.
Yep. Wow. How's your dad doing, Dakota?
Pretty well. I mean, we took down our major threat. I think he's a little nervous about this ritual, but it's not like Joey's gonna die, so that's good.
That's yes. Have we got the have we figured out who's going to do what part of the ritual?
I'll reach in and try and guide him back. All you guys have to do is light the fire, so to speak. Your dad has a fantastic apron.
That was a joke gift that we all got for him a couple of years ago. And
Easy access to the beer and all.
it was a joke. We didn't think you'd really like it.
Are you kidding? That apron is awesome.
You guessed wrong.
Dude, I totally want one of those. God, when I get my own place, I'm totally going to get a grill and one of those.
That's a scary thought, but okay.
Everybody's a critic.
God damn it. Do you guys smell skunk?
No, but
And if the werewolf doesn't smell it, it's in your head.
Okay.
Why?
I smell skunk. Anyway,
So
yeah, Spence downs his beer.
man. So Tia and your brother they've been together a while for Christian.
Shut up.
No, I'm serious. This is a good thing.
What? Okay. Tia seems kind of happy, and Christian, as far as I know, hasn't cheated on her, so it's a good thing so far.
You've threatened him, haven't you?
Oh, you don't know what I've threatened him with.
I can imagine.
Sounds horrible.
That sounds awesome. You don't understand, Spence. He needs to be put in line. That guy.
All right.
He's a slut, and Tia deserves a guy who's not gonna cheat. That's it. Let's just say that I promised that I would find out the name of every girl he slept with and carve it into his back. So.
Oh, he wouldn't survive that, dude.
No, I mean, before what's past is prologue, I don't care. From this point forward, if it's not Tia.
Oh, okay. Okay.
See,
I'm with you.
yeah, the past stuff, she accepts that, so I'm not gonna say anything about it. It's just the now and the future until they're broken up, and then once that happens, he can do what he wants, and I'll pick up the pieces with Tia. But I hope they stick together. It'd be kind of nice.
It would be nice. I like them together.
And she'd be an official part of the family, which would be cool.
I almost wonder if she'd be the 13th, but I knew it wouldn't really count.
She's a skinwalker, which is different.
Yep.
And she doesn't even have a wolf pelt. And I don't think she really wants to go through the process of obtaining a wolf pelt that works.
Yeah.
Well.
Should we do this?
Yeah.
One last dance, guys?
Since I didn't get to dance with you at prom, I guess this will have to suffice.
Well, you still have a prom, Missy.
I have a kazoo if you guys need me to play a song.
You're a junior. You will have a prom next year.
That's true.
You'll be going to Sophie. You'll be going with Sophie.
Yes.
Most likely. So there is the possibility
You'll
that I
be
may
going
allow
with
you to
Joey,
dance
and we'll just have to trade
for a dance.
for a dance. Which I wouldn't mind because Joey is a really good dancer.
True statement.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. We're going to get him back.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. I just got a text message from my contact, but I guess we don't need him anymore, so I should tell him not to show up. Oops, I forgot.
How it works.
It's been a little distracting the last 12 hours.
Mm-hmm. Gosh.
Okay. So Rain was able to kind of get Dustin somewhat relaxed. He's not like totally shut down catatonic, but he's definitely not happy. He does follow you guys out to the field, and since he's been reassured, all he has to do is sit there, and cool stuff will happen. He does so. You can't feel him as part of the pack, but you can tell that Rain really wants to bring him in, that she feels a lot of sympathy for him. But ultimately, it'll be his decision.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing happened to him.
So your brothers and your father and the rest of your pack gather in a circle. Spence is in the center with Dakota, and it's up to Dakota to use the connection she has as Joey's maker to summon him there.
No guilt there. Okay.
Use the Force, Dakota.
All right. What do we need to do?
Reach out to him, and you'll be a little bit better at this because you have experienced what the pack mind is like. So I will give you a +1 on top of your dark to doing this.
The pack
Yay.
is there after all.
The pack is there.
Yay. This is a dark roll,
Yes.
correct? Okay. I've got a +2 then with that +1. And I really want to blow this. I really want to make this roll. On dice.
Oh, that's a big affirmative.
That's a
Finally.
13.
The dice
There
are
we go.
agreeing with us tonight.
So what does it feel like when your mind touches not the wolf, but Joey's consciousness outside of the wolf?
Surprise, shock at first, and then like 2 pieces of a big jigsaw puzzle that just snap into place.
Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Sorry, I'm such a girl. Awesome.
Okay.
So is Rich, apparently.
I am totally a girl. Playing one.
Awesome. Okay, so you through that bond you just feel the relief that he's experiencing because he has been trapped and crying out for you and his sister and anyone ever. But he just doesn't have the skills. He doesn't have the skill set. He doesn't know how to do that. And so you connect with him and you go through him to the connection to his body, because it is still his body that he is vaguely tethered to, and find yourself in touching this wolf without humanity in it, and you're able to create this impression of come here. Safety can be found here. Food is here. Pack is here. And so about 15 minutes later, all the wolves anyways can kind of start hearing Joey coming through the trees, and the entire pack have kind of felt your connection with him, but you can see them kind of relaxing a little bit, knowing that, all right, because this was a tricky part of it, all right. And the wolf sort of reaches the edge of the circle and gets a little bit more skittish, and you press a little bit harder, and so the wolf sort of sets aside the fear it has of the weird human wolf smells and crosses into the circle, and there is a wall of power there. So when it does, it makes it a few steps to near where you and Spencer are, and then it collapses. And there is neither the wolf nor the Joey in it. They're both been separated from the wolf, from the body. And now is Spencer's turn, and he needs to make sure that they both move back into the body, and not just one nor the other.
I'm gonna throw this out there just for the sake of kind of a poetic suggestion. Can my what's the term? Can my House of Spooks kind of come to show support?
Oh yeah, sure, that's a thing.
You set that
It's
up
the only
too,
time I've
so-
ever actually used them, so.
Since you went fuck you and left.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this advance and then blow them
Meh,
up.
whatever. Yeah. Okay, so.
Yeah, sure. We can say that they felt your nervousness and your apprehension, and Maya kind of dragged James there by his ear, so to speak. And
Well, he even reached out to them, if you recall. So I think it makes sense.
yeah, I don't know if Spencer was doing it consciously or if it was I could use some ghostly help sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
They're kind of like the wind in the trees and
yeah,
maybe off in the shadows somewhere.
but Spencer definitely knows that they're there. They don't want to make their James doesn't want to be seen, period, because he's pretty sure that Dakota and Gabe want him.
Yeah, that's
Disintegrated.
definitely true. But
And-
Talk about you fix this, and all is forgiven from Dakota's point of view.
Yeah, speak for yourself, buddy.
Well, hey, it's Dakota's point of view.
And Maya's there because she feels an obligation to you in the good way, not the bad way.
oh, that's good.
And she doesn't make herself obvious to the living because she doesn't want to embarrass you. She doesn't want it to make it look like it's anything but your success.
I see.
So they stay in the background for their reasons, but they're there and you can feel them.
It's a pretty awesome role.
Narrate ho!
All right. So there is Spence kind of. Just a second. Spence kind of. He walks up to this empty husk, this wolf that just kind of presented itself in front of him, and he grabs it, takes its head, and looks into its eyes, and just kind of lets it pull him from the moment into a broader kind of state of awareness. He's not in the abyss, but he's looking through it to see the truth, and in there he finds he finds the spirit of a wolf, and he finds the spirit of Joey. And they're standing over this husk which he is holding. And he looks at them both. He says, "Don't be afraid. This is where you belong." And he carefully and quietly ushers them back so that they can share in the consciousness and the body that is Joey. And when they are secure in themselves, he will pull himself back out.
Excellent. So, you're the only one who can see this. But as it happens, the pack can feel this. But Spirit Joy sort of reaches over and very tentatively places his hand on the wolf's shoulders. And in turn, the wolf sort of turns his head and sort of leans over and presses himself against Joey's leg. And they walk forward together into the body. And the wolf grows in size to an appropriately Joey-sized wolf. And and he doesn't change back to human form because it is still a moon, and he is a brand new baby werewolf. So he can't resist that lure. But when he opens his eyes, the first thing he looks for is Dakota.
Aww.
And he gets to his feet, and he's a little wobbly at first, walking on all fours, hard. And Rain turns to Dakota and says, "Now I think it is time that we run as a pack." And she shifts, and she howls in joy, and she starts the run, confident that her pack and her children will catch up with her. And I think perhaps as Dakota shifts and she feels her and Joey's mind intertwine in a way more intimate than they ever have before, their wolfy eyes cast grateful glances back at Gabriel and at Spencer before running into the woods.
Up high.
Yeah.
And I think that's it, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dice, for cooperating.
Oh my goodness!
This was the who hacked the program.
I don't know.
Oh my.
I'm not saying shit. I have the skills. I didn't do it.
I'll PayPal them a couple bucks or something. I don't know. It's good stuff.
Oh my gosh, you guys, this game was so good that I want to roll around in it naked.
I'm sorry, what?
Not on you, on the game.
Ah, that's what I thought I heard.
Now that is how you end something.
That was impressive.
Hopeful for the future, but a definitive ending.
Man, we could actually play Gabe as Immortal next season.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. That was so good.
I am very happy that I didn't roll particularly poorly on that last roll, because Spencer's saving grace was going to be he would swap himself for Joey, if that's what it took to get Joey back.
Oh, dude, that would have really broken my heart.
Thankfully, it wasn't necessary, though.
Yay.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been very good at, like, okay, serious shit, roll well, okay. 13. Alright, what now?
That's been weird, but thankfully good. And it's not like the dice are always rolling high. There are times where we can't make a roll to save our lives.
Tell me about it.
This has been one of the best games I've played ever. Like, it was really awesome.
Yeah.
Good luck, Adam.
Huh?
Good luck.
Good luck with what?
You gotta follow this bitch.
But it is a whole different game, which helps, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm super excited. I trust you implicitly as a gamer, and I also know you're also really open to feedback. So it's going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to playing Apocalypse World under you.
me too. Under me.
It felt really, really, really good, considering all the shit I put through Dakota through the course of this game, to be able to, like, look, quote unquote, Dakota in the eyes and be like, you have a family forever.
Aw.
That
felt really
amazing. It was
Well,
really good.
that's kind of what growing up is all about, right? Like, you feel that way until you're confronted with that feeling or that truth.
Well, the growing up constant in this game, particularly at the end, was pretty. We all kind of did it in our own ways, and I don't know if it was intended to do that, but it happened. We all kind of said, the time for being a child is over. We got to go take care of this ourselves, and we all did. It was pretty cool.
It could have gone very differently. There are a number of occasions where, had we rolled poorly enough, we would have been looking at a tragedy instead. But
I did want to leave some of it up to the dice. I really did, because
And I'm glad. I'm really glad that you made that choice. I would have felt cheated, if we played this game, as a game, and then said, you know what, I would rather have my happy ending. I'm gonna walk away from all mechanics and just, kind of. So
You gotta
it was
earn it.
nice. There was
Yeah.
some chance of it going awry.
And can I say I loved rolling a 20?
I've never. There is no circumstance under which I could have imagined in an AW game that somebody roll over a 15, and that just. Oh.
I was saving that for 3 games.
That was perfect time.
I knew I was going to need it.
Well, you, as it turns out, you didn't because you rolled a natural 10, but still, rolling a 20 that's a powerful note to go out on, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Mechanically speaking, that's like power gaming. Pro League MonsterHearts.
Mm-hmm. Lead Haxors.
What were some of your favorite parts of the game, Kelly?
Yes.
Tonight or like overall?
Overall.
Overall, Jesus. It has felt really good to, because and I know Adam, you weren't there from the very beginning, so that's but like consistently with both Matt and Adam, that trust level like was high really fast, and never betrayed. And like the one time I screwed up, Rich, you called me on it really quick, and I really appreciated it. And it made me trust you more and trust myself a little bit more, because it meant that like if I screw up, it's okay. I have a safety net.
Uh-huh.
And that's been a really awesome and rewarding experience for me because that's where I jive. I love that energy, that combined teamwork to create something. And so that's been like straight up magic. As for specific moments, there are too many to list. I mean, I'm constantly being surprised, which is awesome considering, and I know you people come from a more traditional background. You've played like the same characters for God knows how long. But for me, seeing these characters week after week and being surprised by them, and not in the, oh God, they just pulled that out of their ass way, but like discovering them in an organic way has been really amazing.
I think my favorite interaction has got to be the confrontation with Joey and Dakota.
That was powerful.
Now, granted, you just sat back. I just sat back and watched. I mean, it's great.
That was a nice payoff. That was really unexpected. I expected to walk into this in terror and awfulness and horribleness. And it was very satisfying that it wasn't that, but there was a chance for it, and there's a chance for things to be broken. So it didn't feel like a gimme. I really loved the Butterfly God stuff. That was just because dream sequences are so hard to pull off, and the payoffs on that were really great. I was the next episode of Canopuncture, Steve, is something we recorded months ago, like early into the second season, and I guess I'll kind of listen back to things that happened in the first season, and the whole switch over of Matt's character from Infernal to Mortal.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
super intense. Just really great.
There were just so many elements of that decision that were great because he was improvising off of material that I had provided. He was using the mechanics in a beautiful narrative way. Like, it was amazing.
It's always brilliant to see that kind of thing when the mechanics work to actually give you excellent fiction. That's a very rewarding feeling.
There is a retire your character and start anew in advance. I'm looking right at it.
Yeah.
I have to say, Steve, Gabe's move and choosing just the right moment, even though, like Adam said, that the roll on a 10 kind of. But that was pretty clever too. I really like how that ended. I was really surprised by that. I had no hope that. I had no hope for Gabe, like, at all.
Yeah, I did not anticipate that going there.
I didn't either. It was a complete master stroke to tie it off like that. I applaud that kind of stuff.
Oh, thank you. It was fun because when I sat down and started thinking about how I was going to play it out, I really did believe that was the end. So it's sort of like that line from Lord of the Rings, I will make it such an end that's worthy of remembrance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was fun, and I was waiting to just go to get in the little counter and go 10. I was like, after the, I mean, and Adam, by the time you got in here, it was already a set precedent that I could not roll for shit. I mean, I literally passed out from dark rolls at least a dozen times. That's not even a joke. I'm serious. I stopped trying. It's like because I had like a -1, and it was like, haha. And it usually was in bad places, and like, oh look, here's the Wendigo about to eat my face. This is great.
That's not good.
After like the first couple times, it was just sort of almost like a joke at that point. It was like, well, he failed another dark roll, so I guess he's gonna.
Man, where's Gabe? Is he sucking his thumb in the corner again?
Yeah, and then like I threw a twist on it once because he failed a dark roll. So instead of like passing out from touching the abyss, I had him be knocked out with chloroform.
Well, that's good because.
Well, it had a real in-game thing too, because the supernaturally mystic characters would pick up on the fact that I was really terrible at that stuff, and it colored the narrative. Katie was like, "Oh, you are so cute. Oh, you're just adorable in your little attempts to use magic. It's hilarious."
That's pretty funny.
He kept trying to talk to his sword, and I was disappointed because I had a personality. I had a character in mind for his sword, but I almost never got to use it because he couldn't pass a goddamn dark roll.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Steve.
Best laid plans. Them season ends often go awry.
Yeah, that's fun. No, it was fun too because for me, the whole culture of a Google Hangouts game, a story game, all that, completely new. I had no idea how it was done or anything. So I remember very early on just literally not knowing kind of what to do. Like, so, which turned into
it quickly though, don't you?
Oh, I hope so. Thank you.
Because like, guess what? What do? Whatever you want to do. And then everybody else says yes or rolls dice. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
It's so complex.
Yeah.
But being handed that sandbox is also kind of intimidating. It's like, wait, what? Because I had that moment, because like my second role-playing game ever was Kagamatsu, and I was framing every goddamn scene, and I was way overwhelmed. Way overwhelmed.
I said it a few times, and I'll say it again here, just because it feels appropriate. I think coming from a more conventional style of game into story games is more difficult than just coming off the street into a story game.
Mm-hmm.
Because you learn that this is how role-playing games work, right? And breaking out of that habit can be difficult. Like
And
it was
painful.
totally difficult and painful and uncomfortable for me. When I first played Apocalypse World, I looked at the list and I'm like, I hate these options. This is all I get to do with this thing? This is annoying. I want to just like do the thing I want to do. Why do I have to be? This is it. This is all I can do. Really felt limiting. You know, it was made me angry. Like, oh, I hate this game.
You seem to have changed your mind.
Kind of, yeah, a little bit different now.
Well, you kind of learn that like you can still do all of the things you want to do, right? Like if you say you want to go out and grab this guy by the scruff of his neck or his shirt or whatever, put a gun in his face and pull the trigger. If he's defenseless, he's dead, just like that. And it's possible that, like, you know, in a D&D setting, it's like, okay, roll your attack roll, roll your damage roll, see how it does. And it's like, he's not dead yet? What's that about? Like, it's empowering in ways, and it requires recalibration in others, and I think it's a step worth taking, personally. But
I wish I had found these games 10 years ago.
They didn't exist 10 years ago, strictly speaking, but yeah, I totally get what you mean. I agree with you.
And just because this is the gaming I've always been looking for, like for realsies. And the problem though is that this is now the precedent of story gaming for me, which is
It's a high bar.
it's pretty high.
And it's not just mechanics. I really feel like this group has brought it to life. Like, I've listened to a lot of AP. Trust me, guys. And not everybody plays this way. And this game, I think, is good. I think it's a really good game. I like playing MonsterHearts, but it is not normally played in this manner with people who are this committed to their characters and make those kind of choices. You know, they're the whole what NPCs are treat them like stolen cars. A lot of players are that way about their character too.
Yeah, I get that, and
yeah.
I think one of the neat things was that the NPCs really did have probably a more prominent role than I think is naturally intended. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but each one was separate and distinct. None of them ever felt like each other. And Kelly, that's one of the things you did so incredibly. Everyone felt so different. It wasn't just, this is this person who's exactly the same as this one. It's like night and day. Even the way you approached their language was different.
You brought it to life.
Yeah.
You really did.
Thanks. I'm all embarrassed.
No, you shouldn't be. It's great. I love the fact that I got to write for you guys. I mean, I don't get to do that. I love it. I mean...
Oh, man, we ate it with a spoon. I ate it with a spoon.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It was a big addition. And it helped tide me over during the week.
Yep.
Did you I know, Steve, you're probably not on Google Plus as much as I am, and you may not follow the folks that I do, but someone shared a little cosplay music video that was made at San Diego Comic-Con, and it was really awesome. And I'm looking for it.
I bet I know which one you're talking about. My son, he loves watching music videos. He loves music. So occasionally we'll put on cosplay videos because he likes how people are smiling and they've got these bright costumes, and he'll laugh and he'll like sing along. It's very, very cute.
Oh, that's awesome. He's Daddy's boy.
He is Daddy's boy.
Here it is, San Diego Comic-Con.
Let's see here.